thing with technology is that it always has an ethical component to it. There's nothing neutral about how we create technology, how we use it, how it's used on us. So the minute any one human is playing with or using a technology or tool, there's going to be an ethical question involved. Is this good or bad? Is it productive or harmful? Right or wrong? And everybody has a different view on what that is. So coming up with an ethical response to emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, for example, in a liberal democracy is in some ways more challenging than it might be in a political system where power is coming from the top down and the ordinary population doesn't have as much of an ethical say. The race for developing artificial intelligence as a viable technology that is being used for good in society is a global competition now. So the United Kingdom is competing with, but also working in partnership with, researchers all over the world. We are very well situated here in that we have many, many people who have the technical expertise as well as the financing capabilities. But what I think really sets the United Kingdom apart is that we're very mindful on this question of ethics and what the role of AI is going to be in our lives. That is something where I think we punch above our weight. And thanks to the English language, we can get our message out much more easily than other countries all over the world. Ethics is often thought of as like a nice to have rather than a need to have, and something that gets bolted on after you've designed or created a product or service. It's a little bit like, it's very similar, in fact, to how we think about cybersecurity. You really want ethics and cybersecurity, for example, to be at the core, at the very heart of what you're building if it's a digital technology. That benefits you because it protects you from potentially creating things that can be used in ways that you never imagined and could harm. So it's a risk mitigation principle, but it's also a selling point to help reassure people. And in the case of AI, that question of trust will be more important than probably any other technology we've had. You want people to know that ethics is baked in at every stage, from idea all the way through to execution. You don't want them thinking, we're going to think about ethics after something's gone wrong. So the great news is that we have a beautiful tradition of arts and humanities and social sciences in this country, so we can train people in ethics and apply it to technology, just as we've done ethics in medicine or ethics in social care, healthcare, etc. Ethics is something that human beings have been doing for thousands of years. It's one of the oldest disciplines, very similar to technology, in fact. So while the government likes to talk a really good talk about investing in STEM education and skills, what we really need is to have a sort of holistic approach, one where our technologists are learning about things like ethics and our ethicists and humanities experts are applying their very valuable knowledge and skills to the realm of science and technology. That's how we're going to get the best outcome. The United Kingdom is putting its money where its mouth is, which is quite encouraging. So we've got the Office of AI, which has set up an entire system to try to funnel funding into research and organize doctorates and postdoctorates and other types of research programs. We've got the Turing Institute here in London, the Alan Turing Institute, just down the road. We're speaking on day 2 of their big conference where the government announced its science and technology strategy. Lots of ethicists have come in from all over the UK and indeed from all over the world to see what the United Kingdom is doing about it. We've got the Institute for the Ethics of AI at Oxford University. There's the Center for Existential Risk at Cambridge who's looking at it. Edinburgh is doing some very interesting work on emerging technology and ethics, and they've brought in some top global scholars, including Professor Shannon Valor from the United States, from California. So we are doing it. And what really excites me here and gives me hope is that I've seen it really percolating through in the media. This is not some sort of fringe issue. This is something that people are thinking about. Do we want facial recognition technology being used on children in schools, that they pay with their face when they buy their lunch or borrow a library book? Is that a good use of technology? Do we want to teach children to transact with their bodies? That's being debated in the House of Lords. Lord Clement Jones and Lord Paul Scriven brought that up. So these are things that are percolating through in all areas. They're on the front pages of the Financial Times, right? This is not just in, the newspapers that you might think it is. It's in the heart of our business journals. So everybody gets it. The question, I think, really is going to be getting everybody to work in harmony so that we don't have everyone running around in different directions, but decide what are our strategic priorities and where can the UK, again, really punch above its weight and make a big difference in this global discussion. So the next generation, if we wanted to really think this through, is probably 5 to 18, right? So this is kindergarten all the way up to finishing their A levels, maybe going into university, but not necessarily. There's many ways to start entering the workforce. So we want to hit young. What are we doing to empower children, but also parents and teachers to understand some of the ethical questions that are at stake so we keep children safe online, but also give them the knowledge and skills that they need to go and work in these fields? It can't be this sort of self-selecting group of people who somehow manage to make it through our education system, probably end up doing some sort of science or technology degree, get a doctorate, and then go work in tech. Like, well done. But that's a really small percentage of the population. These are technologies that are going to be affecting everyone. It's going to have to be baked into no matter what job you do, what subject you study. There's probably going to be a technical component to it. Giving people that knowledge and skill set from a really early age will be key.